performers from the opening ceremony of the Olympics is threatening to sue us? Folks, you cannot make this stuff up. I'm sure all of you all saw the disgusting opening ceremony by now. The internet went crazy after it happened. Everyone's exposing the creepy, satanic, demonic messaging in the opening ceremony. Of course, you had a bunch of drag queens dancing around children. It was just gross. But ever since the opening ceremony, the Olympics has been going really hard to remove people's criticisms, to remove and strike down people's videos. They came at my channel really hard, removed multiple videos across multiple channels, and I thought that they were going to successfully take this channel down. Luckily, they haven't been successful at doing that yet. But now, one of the performers, Barbara Butch, Fat Lady Christ, that's what I call her, the woman that thought it was a good idea to pretend that she was Jesus Christ, now she is threatening to sue everyone who makes fun of her. Now, most people weren't making fun of her at all. Everyone was making fun of the Blue Smurf guy. All I said about Barbara Butch was that she was a disgusting, fat lesbian behemoth. And if you think that I'm saying she's disgusting because she's fat, no, folks, that's your fat phobia talking. I think she's disgusting for mocking people's religions. I just call her fat because she is fat, just like I'm fat, which is why one of my channels is Fat and Opinionated. So it's not like I'm out here going after this woman's looks, but I do think going after her now is fair game, considering the fact that she chose to mock, people's religion, over 2 billion people's religion. But isn't it ironic? Isn't it funny? It's funny how we got here. You see, this fat lesbian behemoth thought it was a good idea to walk her big back behind up on stage and pretend to be Jesus, mocking over 2 billion people. She got up there on live television and mocked and made fun of over 2 billion people who believe in Jesus Christ. And now, after dishing it out, after mocking everyone, she can't take people mocking her back. I mean, if you didn't want people making fun of you, why did you make fun of their religion? So now it's open game. You want to throw jokes, you want to do these little performances, well, guess what? We're going to make fun of you. We're going to talk about your looks. We're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about that. That's how the world works. If Fat Lady Christ didn't want no smoke, if she didn't want no heat, she should have stayed out of the kitchen. And I mean, I didn't even think about it. No pun intended. But for real, don't come out here and mock people and then get butthurt when people make fun of you back. But let's go ahead and dive into this article, because now she's threatening to sue all of us, especially those of us like me with platforms who have been openly exposing the ceremony and talking about this over on X. By the way, go follow me over there. But let's hop into this article. Olympics Last Supper star threatens to sue her right-wing haters. Let's go ahead and stop right there. Because the talking point that they're trying to use is, oh, it's just the right wing. All of my haters are right wing. If you have a problem with the Olympic ceremony, if you have a problem with these cross-dressers dancing, with kids, if you have a problem with these people mocking religion, then you must be right wing. But last time I checked, there's plenty of people who aren't right wing who are Christians. But this is how they try to box everyone up and place these labels on people. I've talked to plenty of people who are not right-wing, who are disgusted by the opening ceremony. But let's go forward. The drag artist at the center of a Paris Olympics opening ceremony performance that drew right-wing outrage for apparently mocking Christ's Last Supper is firing back. Barbara Butch said through her attorney that she had been targeted with threats and fat phobia, and said she was planning to sue the people who had targeted her. Since the opening ceremony of the Paris 2024 Olympic Games, artist, DJ, and activist Barbara Butch has been the target of an extremely violent campaign of cyber harassment and defamation. I gotta pause right there. This activist label, it's thrown around all willy-nilly. Like, there's now a thing called fat activism, and as a fat person, I'm disgusted by it. I do not want to be associated with those type of fat people. But they think that just by being fat and going places and showing their belly rolls, that they're an activist. They're fighting for the freedoms of fats. And I'm like, I don't want you speaking for me, because I don't carry myself in the manner that these people carry themselves. And I don't view the world in the way that they do. I don't want, fat activists out here. But that's what they do. They're like, oh, you decided to be fat at a beauty queen contest? You're an activist now. And it's like, no, that's kind of insulting when you think about it. She's just a person that happens to be fat, but they're like, oh my God, you are so fat and gigantic that doing anything is a form of activism. And I really think that's insulting to all fat people. But let's go forward. So she's threatening to sue people for harassment and defamation, even though she harassed over 2 billion people at the Olympics. She has been threatened with death, torture, and R-wording. No one's threatening to do that. And has also been the target of numerous anti-Semitic, phobic, sexist, grossophobic insults. Barbara Bush condemns the vile hatred directed at her, which she represents and what she stands for. So grossophobic, I guess it's a new word. I had to look it up. I think it's, being hateful towards fat people. Someone who's been fat for a long time, I've never heard this word. It's crazy how other woke fat people are out there creating new words to be offended by and new things to be offended by, but let's go forward. The statement finished. She is today filing several complaints against these acts, whether committed by French nationals or foreigners, and intends to prosecute anyone who tries to intimidate her in the future. So you're going to come all the way to America and try to sue us for making fun of you after you made fun of Christians? You're going to prosecute us? What are you really going to do? I'm not afraid. I'm going to make fun of this woman even more now. Butch added on her Instagram, all my life I have refused to be a victim. I will not remain silent. I am not afraid of those who hide behind a screen or a fake name, pseudonym, to vomit their hatred and their frustrations. Well, look, I'm not hiding behind a screen. I'm right here. You see my face. I'm also on X or Twitter. You can follow me over there at Cinema Shogun. Here I am making fun of you. If you feel some type of way about it, then go ahead and do what you have to do. The reality is that you mocked over 2 billion people, and now you're mad because you're getting a little bit of internet backlash. I think all of us should come together and sue your big ass, and we'll see you in court, okay? You can hear from my lawyers too. Let's go forward. The other performers, however, have shown no interest in apologizing or speaking to anyone. Nikki Doll, a drag queen who served as a torchbearer as well as performing in the controversial segment, posted on his Instagram page Monday morning. The opening ceremony did ruffle some feathers, and I love it. You know why? Because the Olympics are the biggest stage in the world, and us queer people have always been the audience of other people's life and achievement, and it is time that we are welcome in the space. Now, you have to understand here, they're like, we want to be welcome in the space. There's gay people competing in the Olympics. There's been gay people competing in the Olympics for a long time, But what they're saying is, oh, we want drag queens who prey on little children. We want to be represented. You're not doing a sport. You're not freaking doing cross country. You're not throwing the goddamn pole, the javelins. You're not doing anything. You're not sledding, bobsledding. I know that's a Winter Olympics, but you get it. They're not doing any sport. They're not doing anything, but they want to be included simply for pretending to be women. Make it make sense. That's how egotistical and how narcissistic these people have become. They think the world revolves around them. Everyone pause what you're doing at this gigantic sporting event. Let's usher in some people who aren't athletes, who couldn't throw a baseball if they wanted to. Let's introduce a bunch of dudes pretending to be women. Oh my God, so brave and stunning. Oh my God. Meanwhile, we got people up here doing gymnastics, risking their life, jumping from doing high dives from Lord knows how high, and we're supposed to be, enthralled by the fucking dudes who are pretending to be girls. I'm so over it. Previously, Doll posted, "It was my absolute honor to perform in front of billions of people around the world and celebrate our Olympians and remember to the ones that had their feathers ruffled seeing queerness on their screen, we ain't going nowhere." So, this is what it's all about. It's all about forcing themselves onto you. I really feel like we're being R-worded because they force themselves onto you. What, you don't want to hear about drag queens at the Olympics? Well, guess what? We're taking over the Olympics. We're not going anywhere. But if you make fun of us, we're going to try to sue you because we're too sensitive. So, that's where we're at, folks. And I just laugh to keep from crying because on the surface, you look at this stuff and it's funny. It's like a South Park episode, but when you really think about it, it's sick, twisted, and sadistic. But how did you all start your day? You probably started your day with a nice hot cup of joe, some eggs, some toast. I started my day with a 500-pound butch lesbian gypsy that pretended to be Jesus Christ, threatening to sue my pants off for making fun of the opening ceremony of the Olympics. So, needless to say, today is going to be interesting, but I'm sure that this will inspire me to talk about this even more. So, it's going to have the opposite effect of what they intended these threats to have. But you let me know what you think down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all very soon in the next video.